Okay, so tell me about the Pandemonium shit. What's going on with Pandemonium? Tell me, Mr. GM. Can I check your tweets? Is it going to be there? Of course it is. Why am I even asking here? Let's find Mr. GM's tweets. Okay. Interesting data mining, possibly related to the time-running Pandemonium invention in 10.27. Could this potentially be some sort of replay of the storylines of Mists of Pandaria? That would be really good. Not so much the... Okay, so here we are. Here's Mr. GM's data mining. Yeah, okay, well, this looks brilliant. Mainline, Kylon Summit. Oh, yeah, Isle of Thunder. I want it to be a replay of the 5.3 reputation quests. There was so much cool lore in the 5.3 like reputation quests for the various factions, like the Lore Walkers and the Shadowpan and stuff like that, right? Yeah, the 5.3 rep quests were really genuinely good, but the rep grind, and people forget this, the 5.3 rep grind sucked ass. It was really shit. Like 5.3 is generally remembered as being one of the best patches in WoW history, and rightfully so, but at the time, people hated that rep grind. They used to meme about it, they used to hate it. So I don't think this is what that is that Mr. GM has found here. I don't think this is a replay of the 5.3 rep quests, but that would be awesome. I would really, really like that. But no, this looks much more like... Timewalking season, mainline, Kylon Summit. This does look like a replay of just like the leveling quests and like the patch stories, which would be amazing. So it's going to be a Siege of Ogrimmar Timewalking, basically, like leading up to that. A season oh, here we go, yeah. Pandaria event, shard, active, instant. Oh, this is so cool. It is going to be a questing time running event, isn't it? That is neat. That's really cool. Okay. It is going to be a questing time running event. That's going to be so cool. Holy shit. Thank you, Mr. GM. Oh, okay. So it is on Wowhead as well. Let's see. Ooh, Pandaria Timewalking season. Yeah. Okay. Storylines 15. So this is so... Can we click on one of these? Does it give us any more information? Okay, Pandaria Timewalking Season, Mainline 1, Jade Forest. So what is this telling us right here? I think you're right, Mr. GM. I think it's just going to be a questing Timewalking. That would be so cool. Oh, this would be so good. And obviously it would have to be like Horde and Alliance separate for at least part of it as well. Okay, so those are the quests attached to it. So if you checked 5.3, you could see if your quests are there. Oh yeah, good shout. This is it. Here we go. No, so it doesn't seem to go up to 5.3. Oh, here we are. 5.3 storyline. Could that be it? Doesn't look like it. So this looks like it's the Mogu stuff. And leading into War Chief in the Darkness. That's like... this is all Siege of Ogrimmar lead-up stuff, isn't it? Am I wrong? But that would be cool, though. It'd still be really, really good. Would this include cloak quests? Hey, the cloak quests in Pandaria were actually pretty good. They're actually pretty good. So, I mean, okay. They have not updated the gold rewards, clearly. And it looks like you'll be in a separate shard for these. And the shard mentioned tuning, right? So, I don't know if they're going to give you, like, Pandaria... talents and skills and stuff. It seems unlikely. 5.3 was the lead up. Yeah, so it looks like they're not doing the rep quests from 5.3 as part of the time walking, which is a shame if you ask me. I think people would really enjoy that. But they are doing the lead up to Siege of Ogrimmar. And then presumably Siege of Ogrimmar will be maybe the climax of all of this. Feels like this is going to kill the hype for Mop Classic. We've got 2 years to worry about that, don't worry. Plus, you know, like having it will be using kind of modern retail abilities and you know, gameplay. So, but that is so cool. Oh, that would be amazing. Would people be up for this? Would you do it? And yeah, you know what? This could then presumably, if you've got a time walking whole quest line through Pandaria, which takes in, as this does, you know, all of them, you know, from your arrival there onwards, if that's what you've got, then presumably it wouldn't be the hardest thing in the world to convert that to some kind of Path of the Curator thing. And I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, yo, Tally, why are you always banging on about the Path of the Curator? Let it lie. But it would be good though, wouldn't it? What if this was then something that they converted into a leveling path? So if you wanted to level through Pandaria, instead of just going to like zones randomly and doing random shit with no clear view of what's going on, what if there was this curated path? And this is going to be a curated path to a large degree. This is going to be, you know, this is main story quests leading all the way up to the Siege of Ogrimmar. And cutting out all of the side quests and chaff, it looks like, as far as I can tell, of my knowledge of Mists of Pandaria quests. Yeah, mainline 01. They could presumably quite easily turn this into Path of the Curator for leveling, or just for going back and doing in your own time. And that would be amazing for people to go back and just, yeah, do you think this is a test for whatever they end up calling Path of the Curator? And when they, because here's the thing, I think them doing their version of Path of the Curator is inevitable because it's the most obvious thing to do. I want to say right now that when they do it, which I'm certain they will eventually, I'm not taking any credit for it. I'm not going to think that they copied my idea or anything like that. Because as I said at the time when I put out the video, it's such an obvious thing to do that I don't believe for a second that they hadn't already thought of it when I made the video. Like, there's no way I would have given them the idea. It's such an obvious idea and so obviously the correct way of doing leveling quests in Chromie time that they would have definitely thought about it before. It's just a case of, well, this is a massive improvement. Let's get this out and we can come back to kind of putting in Path of the Curator later on. So, you know, I won't feel any smugness about it, but I will be incredibly happy when it happens just because it's making the game so much better. So much better. And this is fantastic. So whatever they end up calling Path of the Curator and however they end up implementing it, you know, specifically into the game, this definitely looks like it could be a first pass on that. Pretty incredible. It looks like it's going to be, what? It looks like this will be the Pandemonium event, which would be just brilliant even at, oh, what did I say? 5.0. Sorry. 5.0, 5.1, 5.2, 5.3. Thank you for that. I got that wrong. It's because it said 10.25 here. It was in my head. But yeah, 5.0, 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, leading up, and 5.4 is Siege of Ogrimmar, right? So yeah, it looks like this is definitely going to be the Pandemonium event, which would be good enough by itself. That's going to be incredible. I can't wait to do it. It's going to be so much fun. If you could choose, like, I think the reason they've chosen Pandaland to do this is because I would bet money that Pandaria is the most picked Chromie time. I would bet money. It was the first one that I chose. I know it's the first one that a lot of people chose when the feature became a thing. It's the thing that made me think, oh, they need to do a Path of the Curator here because it sucks that you don't finish the story. It sucks that you do like a zone and a half, right? And then you're kind of like the level you need to be and you get teleported out, right? But I wouldn't mind betting that it was the first one that a lot of people chose. And I wouldn't mind betting that their stats that they have behind the scene, it definitely wasn't BC. It definitely wasn't. And if loads of people chose BC at the beginning, they'd have stayed there for half an hour in the fucking Hellfire Peninsula, and then they'd gone, oh no, this is literally the oldest questing in the game, and it sucks. And the other reason why they wouldn't have chosen it is because Burning Crusade is one of the ones that people would have leveled in most of the time already, because you would have leveled, like before Chromie time came in, you would have leveled in the old world, and then loads of people will have gone to Outland as part of their old leveling routine. There's a point in old leveling where you go to Outland, you know, and you do it there. So loads of people, like Hellfire Peninsula in particular, was already part of, at that time, most people's kind of like leveling journey, and people hated it. People hated when they had to go to TBC and go to Hellfire Peninsula to continue their leveling journey, right? They really did. So no, I would bet money that TBC was not one of the ones that was amongst the most chosen when Chromie Time launched. But I think most people would have gone to Mop or Wrath. And I think most people have gone to Mop. And this would suggest that that's true, right? Because, you know, Blizz wouldn't have chosen Mists of Pandaria at random. I wouldn't mind betting that they looked at their facts and figures from Chromie Time and they've gone, oh, loads of people pick Mists, and it'd be great to give them that story kind of journey, you know? Legion is the one that everyone picks now. Yeah, because now we all know that it's like the most kind of concise experience. It's probably the quickest way of leveling through Chromie Time as well. Yeah, I think Legion is the one that everyone picks now, but I wouldn't be surprised that when it first launched, everyone, like, you know, more people were picking Mists than you'd imagine. I always pick Shadowlands. Okay. Plus, Mists is further in the past, right? So there's more of a, you know, it would feel more special doing Mists than Legion, right? If they said, oh, we're going to let you experience the questing again from Legion, that's not as exciting as saying Mists, right? It's less fresh in the memory. Yeah, exactly. And you have no... Legion's harder anyway because you have all the borrowed power shit to deal with as well. Exactly. I thought everyone said WoD was the quickest leveling. Yeah, WoD is considered to be the quickest leveling, but it's only the quickest leveling if you're enjoying it. And Legion's more enjoyable. Because with WoD, you have to do the whole, like, half-hour intro, which it gets fucking boring after a while, right? Gets really fucking boring after a while. Whereas Legion, you can just go straight in, you know? And Legion's leveling is, you can go to any zone and do it, whereas WoD's is much more on tracks. So I think, you know, even though it's accepted that WoD's is probably the quickest, I'd still imagine more people do Legion. It's just more fun, you know? And time goes quicker when you're having fun, right? WoD is super pretty. Yeah, it's really, really good. Anyway, that's what this looks like it is. It looks like Pandemonium is going to be a time-walking story quest event, which is super... Like, I feel like we got lost in the weeds a little bit here. I am so excited. I'm so excited by this. And the obvious thing for it to do would be to culminate in a Siege of Ogrimmar, which would be... Well, apart from the fact Siege of Ogrimmar's got 500 bosses in it, would be fun. Especially if they gave us buffs so we could run around Siege of Ogrimmar super quick and not have to, like, go by foot. Because that's the thing that sucks about Siege of Ogrimmar. The thing that sucks about Siege of Ogrimmar is having to fucking run everywhere. That sucks ass and I hate it. Because it's far too big. If they gave us some buffs that let us speed up in between bosses, it would be an awesome time-walking raid to do. Maybe they'll tie Pandaren Heritage Armor into the event too. Oh, that would be amazing. That would be so cool. But I think we've sussed it, guys. Yeah, like MrGM and Wowhead have sussed this. It's definitely, Pandemonium is absolutely a questing Mists of Pandaria time-walking event that goes all the way through. And that's a lot of quests, man. It's cutting out the chaff, but it's a lot of gameplay there, especially the intros, which are Horde and Alliance specific. It's going to be super fun. I love all that shit. It's going to be great. It's going to be so much fun. And even more exciting than having the event is the fact that it seems to be laying the way for whatever they end up calling the Path of the Curator idea that we had, and however they end up implementing that. And I think that, for the long-term health of the game, would be incredible. That'd be so good. MrGM possibly just data mined what the new time running event is. No, thank you for telling us. Genuinely, Pravexes, and I'm not being sarcastic here. Thank you for telling us. It's literally what we've got on screen right now. But genuinely, if it hadn't already been pointed out, and if we hadn't already looked at it, like, I would be super glad that you had told us about it. So unironically, thank you. And the Pandaria story is awesome, and I think it's one that people are really into getting and looking at. Yeah, and the Pandaria story is, of course, yeah, you're absolutely right. There's a lot of Klaxi shit going on in the Pandaria story, and a lot of Nazoth shit going on in that Pandaria story as well. and a lot of old god stuff, which you'd imagine is probably gonna not be completely irrelevant to the War Within and the World Soul Saga. So it makes sense, right? It makes sense. This is gonna be amazing. I'm really looking forward to it. This is so cool. Yeah, really, really good.